In May 2018, CCH was trying out a new type of volunteer trip. We called it a Come and Serve trip, and I led a team of 13 awesome volunteers down to Haiti. We were working in schools doing health checkups, and we also had several physical therapists who were helping at our CCH PT rehab clinic that week.
Busy morning. Patients in and out, 30 or 40 people in there at any given moment. And we were hands-on busy working with the staff down there.
I remember looking up and seeing this young boy walking with his mom. And he just looked so frail, and his walk was very off. His mom told me how the incident started with the fall off the park bench. And striking the back of his head, and that moments later, he became relatively unresponsive, had difficulty speaking, and more or less had lost a lot of function immediately.
And when we palpated his neck, we were expecting to feel, 5, 6, 7 distinct bones from the top of his skull down to about the top of his shoulders. And as we felt the first one, it was unexpectedly large. And as we tried to come up underneath that bone, the others weren't there. We couldn't feel them without really digging our hands into his tissue, his muscle.
I remember when we threw those x-rays up, I was in disbelief. I'd never seen an x-ray like that on a young boy. All I could think to myself is, how is this child still alive?
A good hard sneeze could have, severed his spinal cord.
He could not even stand up alone. The vertebra was just like open widely like this.
After I realized that Joe had a spinal injury, and I quickly called Melissa, and I said, Melissa, we have to do something about it, because I knew Joe won't be able to find the care he needs in Haiti.
In the moment, I felt so helpless because I knew definitely at CCH, within our program services, we couldn't help him. There's actually on Facebook a forum of different, medical organization. It's kind of support group where you become a member. It's actually called the Haiti Medical Aid Project. So as an act of desperation, actually sent a message on there explaining the situation. This patient that came to us had a severe injury, and we're Jacques Mel, and what to do with this patient.
It was a very scary thing to say, we don't have an answer for you at this moment. The best we can do is encourage you to go home and sit still and not move.
It was devastating to have to watch him walk out, knowing that how serious this injury was. So we literally wanted him lying down until we could figure out a plan, and we didn't have any idea what that plan was going to be.
Facebook.
I didn't believe it at first.
Melissa was able to touch base with a Canadian neurosurgical team that was in Port-au-Prince at the time.
It truly felt like a blessing. And the question was, how do we get him there? And how do we get him there safely?
Joe is not safe for travel on the road. The terrain alone could really jerk his head.
Even though there aren't a ton of resources, we had all the right resources fall into place.
We have the big blue truck with not a lot of padding, no sun cover. He's on a makeshift spine board. He's in a makeshift collar. A retired U.S. military running a helicopter transport agrees to transport him back to Port-au-Prince, where a Canadian neurosurgical team is there waiting.
We prayed for a miracle.
And then we get the next bit of bad news. The Canadian team said, we don't have the time, the equipment, or the personnel here to do what he needs.
And the only option would be to wait for a couple months until they could come back. with the appropriate equipment.
I knew it would not be possible for Joe to make it during that period of time, and I said there's no way. So we have to find something else.
I think Stephen and I went more into the mode of plan B. You know, this couldn't be it. This couldn't be the end all be all for this child. He can't wait for months. And so what next?
That's when we all started reaching out to our professional contacts.
My immediate thought was Shriners Hospital. Clinician to clinician, peer to peer. What if I just reach out and see, you know, if this is something that they're capable of taking on?
They said, if you can get us your initial evaluation of him from physical therapy, you can get us MRI, you can get us the x-rays and the CTs, we'll review it all here and decide if this is something that Shriners Hospital could or would take on. In the meantime, Melissa is working in the background with the CCH staff here in the US. When we got a message back from Melissa that effectively said Shriners has wholeheartedly agreed, they will take on the case if he can get there. Maybe a day later, 2 days later, so no more than 11 days from the time that we initially saw him, he's boarding a plane to the US. He's gonna land in New York, and they've arranged an ambulance transport to pick him up from the airport there and transport him to Shriners Hospital in New Jersey. And there was a sigh of relief on everybody's part because there it is, he's getting there.
Shriners is a nonprofit. There's 22 different hospitals, but the mission of the hospital overall is to help children throughout the world in need. And so they pretty much have a policy that once you're accepted for care at the Shriners, they pretty much will cover all the expenses and costs, even regardless of your insurance status. The technical part of the surgery went well, and as expected. Mom was, always had a great attitude. Joe was always would try. You asked him to do something, and he would go at it. He never complained. So they really, I think they were, an excellent family to treat. We're happy we're able to partake in their care.
Si mon pas fini dans CCH, jusqu'à présent, moi t'avais battu. Parce que moi t'as mouru, et quand tu t'es dit moi, aller dans 6 mois, et pas comme ça. Moi prier pour eux avec toute famille moi chaque jour. M'a demandé bon Dieu une bénédiction en plus pour tout le monde qui t'a contribué dans la réussite de la vie. En fait, moi je en pile. Et merci beaucoup pour ça que tu as fait pour moi. On va jamais oublier.
It truly was a lot of different people coming together for the greater good of the small boy.
One head thinking is good, but when you put a lot of brains together, that's gonna be like something amazing. Everything happened in the right moment at the right place. CCH.